When it comes to hot entertainment in the Valley, one thing is definitely for sure. People love art. And today we're talking to a Valley legend that's hip, fresh, and definitely cool. We're gonna see how he's painting a scene here locally. We are with Jim Covarrubius, who is kind of the legend when it comes to art, and we are here in your fabulous studio, which I am so impressed by walking through it.
Well, thank you so much.
Well, let's start. Let's hear a little bit about the history and learn a little bit about your paintings and about your life through your artwork.
This one here was actually a friend of mine who had a dream, and in the dream were some of the elements from Peru. She had taken a trip to Machu Picchu. So I love looking at history, looking at culture, and putting that in my own version here. This was actually the person who had the dream. So this is Terry's dream, and I made everything else up around her. So it was just kind of cool to have a little portrait of her and then have an idea. And I think that's what art can do. Art can kind of get your fantasy going.
I love Jim. I've known him since the early 90s. I love all of his art. He is a wonderful person. He's worked with me for many years in the community with youth groups, teaching them how to paint and doing murals with them, teaching them about history. And he's just an awesome, awesome person.
Tonight is a wonderful opening of an art show in our gallery in the remarkable Herberger Gallery of Jim Covarrubius. And Jim is an artist of great renown in relationship to the history of the Latino, the American Indian, a little bit of the Spanish, a little bit of this. He's even got a little bit of Scottish in him. We always encourage people to come down, even if you don't see a show, stop here in the lounge that we're in and have a drink and enjoy the evening.
I consider Jim like a brother. Actually, he calls me brother, and maybe that's a Native American way to express his friendship. But we have been very close for several years now, and it happens that starting a few months ago, my new studio as an art photographer is next to his. So we share the same space, and I'm very familiar with his work because I've seen this pop out of the canvas as he was painting them. So we are very close, we are kind of kindred spirits in many ways. And since I've been a publisher for 20 years, I suggested that it was about time for him to put a book together to let people better know the magnitude of his body of work. I enjoy the fact that cultures can blend and actually enrich each other. And so it's one of the many reasons we get along so well.
And I think art means so much of communication that people need to be doing. If you are wanting to have a communication with somebody, my advice is go to a gallery or a Phoenix Art Museum and walk around, and you'll have the communication that you've never had before. Because art does give you something from your soul, and it gives you something about a contact with a bigger picture than yourself. And I think that's important for us.